His word. She says, Ya Rab, my Lord, inni mu'minatun bik. I believe in you. وَبِمَا جَاءَ مِنْ عِنْدِكَ بِرُسُلٍ أَوْ كُتُبٍ. And I believe in what has come from you in the form of a prophet or in the form of the book. I believe in you. And then she says, وَإِنِّي مُصَدِّقَةٌ بِكَلَامِ جَدِّي إِبْرَاهِيمٍ. And I also am affirming to what my grandfather Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam has said. And then he says, وَإِنَّهُ بَنَى بَيْتَ الْعَتِيقِ. And he is the one who has made this house that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Ibrahim to make it. Then she says, my Lord, فَبِحَقِّ الَّذِي بَنَى هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. My Lord, for the sake of the one who made this house, فَبِحَقِّ الَّذِي بَنَى هَذَا الْبَيْتِ وَالْمَوْلُودُ الَّذِي فِي بَطْنِي. And for the sake of the child that is inside my womb, my Lord, make this an easy affair for me. Now, history says that the door, not the usual door of Hussainia Kabah, but in a particular area there appeared a crack. And the crack became a bigger crack, inviting Fatima bint Asad, the mother of Ali ibn Abi Talib, to enter inside the most sacred place in the world. This is history. I'm not saying anything from what I think or making any interpretations of this. This is history. Now, I wish to make an interpretation of something, and that is probably my own thinking, but I'm sure you will enjoy what I personally enjoy thinking about. When a crack appears in any wall, what is the natural reaction of an individual? The natural reaction of an individual is to step back, not to step forward. Correct? You may have heard this before, but listen to what I want to conclude. The natural reaction is, anyone who will see a crack appear on this wall, we will all take a step backwards, not a step forward, out of fear that we might be in some kind of a danger. But there is this lady standing there heavily pregnant. Instead of taking a step backwards, she is taking a step forward. An inspiration from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can call it. What I am making an interpretation of here is that she was the mother of Asadullah. She was the mother of the lion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She was the mother of the one who was going to conquer Khaybar. She was the mother of the one who was going to be the helper of the Holy Prophet of Islam in Uhud. She was the mother of the one who was going to remain in steadfast in front of Marhab and Antam. She was not an ordinary lady. She did not take a step backwards. You know why? Because she wanted to inform this child that I as your mother realize, and inform you and I, that I as the mother of this child realize that this child is the child who is known as Asadullah. There will never be an occasion when Ali will step backwards. He will always step forward. And history is giving you and I the evidence that there has never been a moment, ever, where Ali has taken a step backwards, except when demanded and commanded by the Holy Prophet of Islam. When he stood up, how many medals did he get? You know, how do you speak about this man? Where do you begin? How do you start? If you talk about Ali ibn Abi Talib as a political leader, you begin to wonder, where did this man get the political awareness from? When you look about the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you see that there is a man 1400 years ago who speaks about who speaks scientifically about how the world was created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Beyond human comprehension. You don't understand how to even begin to talk about this individual. However, it is necessary that I present before you one or two things about the life of Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. But the Holy Prophet of Islam is raised by the Amirul Mu'mineen, is raised by the Holy Prophet of Islam himself. He takes personal care in looking after Ali. He takes personal care in taking care of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He is extremely careful in how he is bringing Ali ibn Abi Talib up. Who? The Holy Prophet of Islam, Rahmatun lil Alameen, is looking after Ali. Now in Nahj al-Balagha, Ali speaks about how he was raised by the Holy Prophet of Islam. What he says, وَضَعَنِي فِي حِجْرِهِ وَأَنَا وَلَدْ. In Nahj al-Balagha, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, وَضَعَنِي فِي حِجْرِهِ وَأَنَا وَلَدْ. He used to place me on his lap when I was a small child. Who? Rahmatul lil Alameen. Who? Sayyidul Mursaleen. Who? Khatamun Nabiyyin. Used to place, he says he used to place me on his lap. وَضَعَنِي فِي حِجْرِهِ وَأَنَا وَلَدْ وَيَضُمُّنِي إِلَى صَدْرِهِ. And he used to embrace me and hug me and hold me tight to his chest. Ya Ali. And hold me tight to his chest. وَيَضُمُّنِي إِلَى صَدْرِهِ وَيَكْنُفْنِي فِي فِرَاشِهِ ويمسني جسده ويشمني عرقه. He used to allow me to sleep next to him. I used to be able to smell the fragrance of the nubuwwah of the Holy Prophet. This is Ali talking about his childhood, talking about what was happening as he was growing. And then he says, what was وَلَقَدْ كَانَ يَنْضَعُ الشَّيْء ثُمَّ يُلْقِمُنِي. The Prophet, whenever he wanted to feed me, he used to take a morsel of food and then he used to chew the food and then he used to take it out and give me that food morsel by morsel in my mouth. This is the Prophet doing this, Prophet. What was the result of giving this special care? Ali ibn Abi Talib now concludes. He says, what was the result of the Holy Prophet of Islam taking care of Ali ibn Abi Talib in this particular matter? In this particular manner, what was the result of this? Ali says, فَمَا وَجَدَنِي كَذْبَةً فِي الْقَوْلِ وَلَا خَطْلَةً فِي الْفِعْلِ. Ali says, the Prophet never found a word of lie from my mouth, nor did he see any weakness in the character of Ali ibn Abi Talib. At any single time. And then he says, وَلَقَدْ قَرَنَ اللَّهُ بِهِ مِنْ لَدُنْ أن كان فطيما أعظم ملك من ملائكته يسلك به طريق المكارم ومحاسن أخلاق العالم ليله ونهاره. This is Nahj al-Balagha, Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had appointed an angel who used to guide the Holy Prophet of Islam. And he used to show him various paths, various avenues. And the Holy Prophet of Islam used to follow what was being guided by an angel who was sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen, the master of eloquence, the master of balagha says, وَلَقَدْ كُنْتُ أَتَّبِعُهُ اتِّبَاعَ الْفَصِيلِ أَثَرَ أُمِّهِ. And I used to follow the Holy Prophet of Islam just like a baby camel follows its mother everywhere. This is Ali, the master of eloquence, telling us. After he concludes here, Ali ibn Abi Talib then settles the score by giving you and I the punchline of what he wishes to say. So his childhood by his own tongue, in Urdu we would say Ali ki kahani, Ali ki zabani. This is the story of Ali in his own language, how he grows up as a child in Nahj al-Balagha. There then comes a time in that same khutbah, in that same statement that Amir al-Mu'mineen is making in Nahj al-Balagha. He then says, وَلَقَدْ كَانَ يُجَاوِرُنِي بِحِرَاءٍ. The Holy Prophet of Islam used to take me along with him to Ghar of Hira, to the cave of Hira. أَرَاهُ وَلَا يَرَاهُ أَحَدٍ. I used to see him and nobody else was there at that particular time. Then he says, I used to sit with him. أَرَى نُورَ الْوَحْيِ وَالرِّسَالَةِ وَأَشُمُّ رِيحَ النُّبُوَّةِ. I used to see the light of Risalat and I used to smell the fragrance of Nubuwah before Nubuwah was entered. Subhanallah.